Everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Dr. Ariel Policano. I'm excited to talk to you today about the Genius Insight app. Today's call is a demonstration call, really for people who don't have the Genius Insight app yet. If you do have the Genius Insight app and you wanted to ask questions or get support, please join me on Mondays at 4 o'clock Pacific. It's always free. I'm always there every Monday night for your Q&A. So if you have questions or things that are coming up that you want to talk about, please join me on that call. If you don't know how to get that link, then please email me, ariel@awakentotalhealth.com. ariel@awakentotalhealth.com. Now, you're certainly welcome to hang out here, but this is really for people who don't have the program yet and want to learn more about it. If you feel like that still applies to you, then by all means, just hang out with us. We love your company, okay? All right, this is the Genius program that I'm going to be showing to you in just a little while, and I'm going to be doing a sample session. In fact, if you'd like to volunteer for the session, you're more than welcome to write to me in the chat box there and tell me that you'd like to be a volunteer. We can hide all of your personal information, your name and date of birth and things like that, but we can share some of the results, just talking about them for the purpose of our demonstration. So if you'd like to be a volunteer, you're certainly welcome to do that by writing to me in the chat box and telling me you'd like to be a volunteer. We're going to be talking all about the Genius Insight program. Again, this is more for people who have not acquired the program yet, but you're certainly more than welcome to hang out with us today. So I'm going to be talking all about the scanning that I'm doing there. First, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what bioresonance is and what energy medicine is. So we're going to do a few slides here, and the reason I want to talk to you about that is because people often enter into the world of quantum biofeedback not having really the foggiest of ideas what all of this is about. So I want to really introduce you to what resonance is and what biofeedback is. You know, all of this good fun started really getting into swing, I'd say about 20 years ago, but the field, you know, dates back even longer than that. And about 20 years ago is when we had things like the SCIO start to come out, and those are resonance equipment that does a similar function but costs significantly more, some $15,000 to $20,000 compared to about $1,000 to $2,000 for the Genius Insight. And they're big bulky boxes you need to carry around with you with various wires and things like that. With the Genius Insight, we've managed to make it very portable, very easy to use, and very efficiently priced. But what is it that's happening? When you record your voice and your picture, why is it significant? Why do you get results? And why do you get results that match so closely to what that person is going through? And what can energy medicine do for you? Can it make a difference in your life? My whole assertion as a naturopathic doctor, a lot of you don't know me, I'm a naturopathic doctor in Portland, Oregon. My whole assertion is that bioresonance is something that every person needs. I think every doctor needs a bioresonance tool, but I think that for the layperson, it even is helpful for them because many people don't know how to check in on what's going on with them. And they don't understand how to use energy to shape their world. And this gives them the opportunity to become good at using energy and frequency to shape their world. It's also massively helpful for you to sort of get a screen of what's going on with you. I never say it's a diagnosis, but if you can understand some basic concepts of health, you can start to get a pretty good idea whether you're doing well or maybe you're not doing so well. Again, never saying that it's a substitute for a good health practitioner, but it may be the thing that you do in between your annual or semi-annual visit. But again, What's happening when you scan the voice in the picture and you're able to get a sense of what's going on with someone? Why? And also when you run balancing frequencies, why are they able to make a difference? So that's what I want to talk to you a bit about. If you have any questions at all, you can send me a message. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I use this equipment in my practice, and I'm one of the main trainers for the Genius Insight. So I have a very direct connection with the developer, and I'm able to talk about what the software is, what it can do, what it can't do. And so I'd like to bring that information to you. So they call energy medicine the diagnostic and therapeutic use of energy, whether detected or produced by a medical device or the human body. And sorry, I have to switch the view here. I love that description because that's really what's happening whether you're working with Reiki, because it could be produced by a human body, or whether you're working with the Genius Insight app. So it's diagnostic. We wouldn't say it's like a lab test, but it is going to tell you where your energy field is at any given time. And therapeutic, the therapeutic use of energy. We use the harmonizing frequencies as therapy. We have people around the world who are using the Genius Insight, and they're not using any other therapy. They don't even give a supplement. They just use the resonant frequencies, and they're getting incredible results. We have great testimonials on this from people in Australia and in the UK and around the United States. It's really, really exciting. So energy medicine involves the use of energies of particular intensities. So we have those choice of intensities on your Genius Insight app. You can use the default, you can use the 10x, you could use the 25x, you could use the 50x, and we have different waveforms. So we have a way to individualize or customize the frequencies that are coming from the Genius Insight app. Energy medicine involves the use of energies of particular intensities and frequencies that stimulate the repair of one or more tissues. So amazingly, we are body, mind, and spirit. Okay, inextricably linked, right? Body, mind, and spirit are one. There is no separation. Therefore, when you play the frequencies from the Genius Insight, they are affecting you on a level of energy field, but also body, mind, spirit. So these frequencies are stimulating the repair. They're intended to bring balance and harmony, which has a weird effect of actually helping to repair your tissues. No guarantees, not making medical claims, but by observation, we see that this pretty much rings true. When you bring about a state of coherence, funny things start to happen in the body. In fact, repair and regeneration starts to happen. These energies can come from the environment. You can go out into nature, and you can take what the Japanese call a forest bath, right? And you get all the coherent frequencies from nature, or go to the beach or jump in the ocean. So these energies can come from the environment, from another human being like therapeutic touch or Reiki, or from a medical device. This information, by the way, comes from James Oshman in his book Energy Medicine, and that's where I'm getting a lot of the quotes that we're talking about. So to make the right attribution to him, really a leader in being able to explain what energy medicine is. Now, we don't call the Genius Insight app a medical device. So just with that understanding, it is at least, this sentence could be substituted with the word a technology, a man-made technology. So these energies can come from the environment, from another human being, or from a man-made technology. Electricity gives rise to magnetism. Many different therapies affect the body through induction, in other words, by influencing the magnetic fields of the body. Now, bioresonance is really playing frequencies that your body is listening to. So your body is listening to the generation of those frequencies and is being shaped. Your DNA is listening, your liver is listening, your kidneys are listening, and they're listening for the right stimulation, the right impetus to start to function in the way that they were meant to function. So as you play these frequencies, your body is listening, and it can have a profound effect. In fact, the strongest electrical field in your body is produced by the heart and generates energy and current that flows through the circulatory system, which is a great conductor. So you have all of this electrical energy in your body, including the greatest electrical energy being produced by the heart. So your body is an energy field. Your body is very much influenced by frequencies around it. If you're not sure about that, be in a room where two people are having an argument. How does your energy feel afterwards? Most people feel drained, depressed, unsettled. Go into a room where a beautiful symphony is playing. How do you feel after that? Or maybe Tibetan bowls. How do you feel after that? Oh, I feel relaxed. I feel calm. It's because the frequencies that have been generated are all coherent frequencies that your body, your tissues, your DNA is listening to. That is similar with the Genius Insight app. Your body is listening to these frequencies that are helping to bring your body into balance to do the things that your body, the organs, the glands were meant to do. So that is why this works. While it may go against intuition, it is not the strength of the signal that determines if it is beneficial or harmful, but instead it is the frequency. So we don't need to blast all of this at the highest power coming from the Genius Insight. We just need to get the right frequency. What is the right frequency? The right frequency is the one that's right for you based on where your imbalances are. And this is what the Genius Insight is fantastic at doing. It's a very personal, customized assessment. That is what is so great about what bioresonance is able to check in for you, not what you read about on the latest health site that the supplement might be good for you. What is it that's going to be the best for your energy field at this moment? And then let's give it to you in an energy form, the most non-toxic, non-side effect form that we can give to you, the most pure form of energy. So bioresonance is immensely practical, and it puts the power of healing into many people's hands at a much lower price than buying, $50, $100, $200, or $500 worth of supplements every month and hoping and praying that they work. Biological effects like molecular resonances are frequency specific. This sentence right here, you could sit here for about 60 minutes or longer, or a couple of days or a couple of years, and really meditate on this. Biological effects like molecular resonances are frequency specific. So when you take a supplement or even a medicine, is it really the medicine that's doing the work, or is it because the medicine or the supplement or the nutrient or the food ultimately bestows a frequency change within you? It's a fascinating question. Now, does this mean we should just stop eating food and just consume frequency? Probably not. But could it mean that we could take advantage of frequency as being more efficient, more personal, more direct, more customized? Yes, and this is what we need in a world today where we're facing grave danger in terms of antibiotic resistance. We need other choices in order to be able to overcome underlying infections. And bioresonance can give us that. That is what is truly exciting. So bioresonance helps us to solve problems that we often fear we don't have any solutions for. That's why I teach about bioresonance, and I dedicate so much time, because it is the ultimate empowerment, is the ultimate solution, and it is coming during a time when we immensely need these types of solutions. So what is resonance? I keep saying bioresonance. What is that about? Resonance is the process by which a field of a particular frequency or wavelength can transfer vibrational energy from one object to another. That is really amazing. This means when you listen through the headphones or you have the wristbands on from the Geo Insight on your iPad or your Android device or your iPhone coming to you, then this resonance is able to reach you through the frequency. It's the process by which a field or a particular frequency, like that from the Genius Insight, can transfer vibrational energy from the Genius, from the software, to you. The vehicle comes through the iPad or whatever device that you're using, but as that tone is playing, as that frequency is being generated, and you are in the vicinity, right? You are receiving that frequency, you are affected by it. And this would be a positive effect. So you are changed because your DNA, because you are an energy field and you're picking up and resonating and being affected by all of the energy fields around you. So it's important that you choose carefully, right? What you choose to watch on TV, or the music that you choose to play, or the movies that you choose to watch, all those things, because they're all frequency. There's all frequency being generated in all of those instances, and how will you be affected by that frequency? So it sort of changes your viewpoint or your perspective. Living tissues produce frequencies, and external fields will affect those biological rhythms by entraining them. Living tissues produce frequencies and external fields, which and external fields will affect those biological rhythms by entraining them. So if you keep playing the positive coherent frequencies, it's like saying an affirmation, you know, every cell in my body is happy, every cell in my body is well. As I say that over and over and over again, I begin to entrain that frequency of wellness into my system, into my tissues, into my body, into my cells. And it's the same way with playing the frequencies from the Genius Insight. These become saturated into your field. And so, you know, use the Genius Insight every single day, because you want to keep bringing those positive coherent frequencies, removing the imbalances, and really live a vital, healthy life. The following are biological antennae. I mean, this is really, really cool, right? An insect antenna, a DNA molecule, and an ATP molecule. I mean, think about that, right? An antenna could be on your roof. It could be an insect listening or finding out what the environment is holding for them. A DNA molecule is an antenna. An ATP molecule that makes energy is an antenna. Each of these natural antennae are the product of millions of years of evolutionary refinement. It is so important that we play our DNA and our ATP the right frequencies, the right music. You want to expose them to the right frequencies. This is one of the reasons why wireless frequencies and electromagnetic frequencies are so harmful, because they're sort of like playing heavy music really, really loud at really, really high decibels all the time to your DNA molecules and your ATP molecules. And they're really aberrant or incoherent frequencies, which your body then has to equilibrate to. And sometimes this causes a great deal of stress. This is why I believe we're having so many immune challenges and health issues, is not only the chemicals, but also the fields that are going on the planet right now. So what do you do about it? If you're being affected by EMF or other frequencies, you can actually counter against that with healing frequencies on the Genius Insight app. So you want to keep exposing yourself to very positive frequencies. Other ideas would be, depending on your spirituality, Gregorian chanting, or Sanskrit or Vedic chanting, or some type of really, you know, uplifting music, or classical music, Tibetan bowls, didgeridoo. All of these things generally are coherent frequencies. Even going out into nature and listening to birds chirping and, you know, crickets and all of those things, all of those noises are actually coherent frequencies. So anything that you get out into nature and you can listen to is actually helping to remind your DNA and your ATP and all the liver tissue and all the things in the body how to be coherent. That's why being in nature is so powerful, not to mention taking your shoes and socks off and being on the ground and allowing your feet to touch the most coherent frequency that we have, which is the Schumann resonance. DNA is an electronic conductor. The movement of changes through the DNA is electronic, not ionic. DNA molecules are referred to as quantum wires and can function as antenna. Again, your DNA are listening. What are you playing for them? What could you choose to play for them differently? Again, you can play those solfeggio tones on the Genius Insight app, or you can play the sacred geometry. And you have a very similar effect when you take the things that are out of balance and you run the harmonizing frequencies for them. Again, you're showing your DNA how to heal itself. You're playing the coherent frequencies for your DNA. So the Genius Insight app is really an innovation in biofeedback, which we're going to talk about, but this is the basis for why it works. And now we're going to talk more specifically about the program. So it's really important when you're considering acquiring a biofeedback app, why does it work? How does it work? So we wanted to, pull the curtain back a little bit and talk more about, what bioresonance and energy medicine really are, so that you can better understand why this is such a powerful program. Now, to get into the Genius itself, to talk about it, it's a program that you can put on an iPad, an iPhone. You can put it on an Android device like a Samsung Galaxy, either like a Tab, sorry, you can also put on an Android phone. All of these things are perfectly acceptable. Any Android device, any iOS device, you can basically, an iPad mini, etc., you can put this on there. It functions just like any other app, like some of the other ones you see here, Audible, Google, etc. So that's how it works. It does not work on a PC. It does not work on any type of a computer. So you have to put it on a portable device. It loads on like any other app. You then just tap the icon and it opens up. The first thing that happens here is that you do an assessment, because you need a frequency to compare to the frequencies that are programmed into the Genius Insight. So you need to start with a frequency. So if we just take our sample person, this is our fictitious person, so we're not giving away any of the information on them. I think that they've been deleted from my database. So we were just using someone who we weren't using their real date of birth. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I don't want to give anybody's personal information away, so let's just use our AAA here, and I'll just do a demonstration based on that. So when I record the voice, I'm going to say A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. I'm going to say a powerful affirmation. Every cell in my body is perfectly balanced and well. All of the DNA in my body is completely healed. Any errors in my chromosomes and anything that I inherited, all of that is now clear. You can go on like that. You just want to get a good recording of your voice. Then the voice is analyzed. This is one of the most important things in any biofeedback program, you guys. How does it analyze the frequency of the person that you're looking at? So the Genius Insight has an extensive, really, really powerful way to analyze the voice, and that's why the results that you get are so accurate. That's why they're so laser sharp, because they've really worked on this voice algorithm, and they listen to the voice, listen to it again, retest it, make sure that we're really hearing that frequency from you properly and assessing it properly. Then we get the picture. So you take your own picture, or you receive a picture from someone. If you're on FaceTime, you can take their picture and upload it. It's very, very easy to do. And we're going to actually skip this part here. So I'm just going to skip that. Confirm your personalized energetic signature. You can put in an affirmation, or you can just put in a word here like abundance. And that word will play anytime you run frequencies. Now, what you've assessed in the voice and what you've assessed in the picture is now ready for you to work on. So now what you do is you hit begin analysis, and the Genius is at lightning speed comparing your frequency to many other frequencies in the program, and it gives you a result. We have customized library, we have a biofield, we have the body, and we have mind. So we can look in all of these different areas, or you can tap on System Overview and you can go and you could do a full matrix overview. In seconds, you can check every frequency that is in here that has been programmed. So over 400 different frequencies that are in here can be tested in seconds. And so you can see that maybe the person, what they're really dealing with at the very top here is some issues with digestion. You can see the triple heater is out of balance, and their kidney meridian and their small intestine. You start to get a theme going on. If you want to see what is most efficient, where the least energy is moving through, you can hit General Overview again, and it skips to the very bottom. And often you see similar things at the bottom than you do at the top, because this represents two sides of the same coin. These are both out of balance on either end. The things that are in balance are actually in the middle. Those are the things that are in green or yellow. Red or blue indicates things that need to be balanced. Things that are low tend to be more significant even than things that are high, because these are the areas where we're just completely stalled. There's no energy, there's complete compression, there's stagnancy. So you may want to begin by balancing at the low numbers. Now let's say that you don't know anything about health and you're just perplexed and you just want to use this thing and get on with life. What you can do is you can create a balancing session for yourself that can last anywhere between 3 minutes and anything in multiples of 3. So that could be 12, that could be 24, that could be 36 minutes. What you do is you learn to press on these, tap on these, and bring them down into the lower balancing tray, which is called your main hold tray. You're going to balance these just for 3 minutes, so we're going to move this to the left and set our timer bar for just 3 minutes. You then pull in about 10 items from the top, but honestly you can pull in more than that if you want to. You could pull in as many as 20 items or more. It's really up to you, but at some point, it's good to, between 10 and 20 is really probably the most that you want to do here. And also you want to just make some notes. If you're very adept at nutrition or you know about health, you may want to see if there's a pattern to the different things that are showing up here. So, we did see the bladder meridian, and then we see the bladder organ. Sometimes there's a relationship there, sometimes there's not. You might see some vitamins that would be interesting maybe to look up and research. Essential oils. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to the top here, and I'm actually going to switch this again, and I'm going to go down to the bottom. So right at the bottom, why isn't this, oh, sorry, I'm going the wrong way. It goes into ascending order. I want to go to the bottom in terms of the lowest frequencies. And now I'm going to take these frequencies and I'm going to place them in the lower tray, the main hold tray. Now there's a reason for doing that, because these are the things that are considered to be the most out of balance. So I'm going to get my greatest effect from working with them. These are the places where I need to work on. I'm having a little trouble grabbing that. Okay, so these grab pretty easily. You just drop them in there. This isn't rocket science. This is pretty easy. And then you start to make note of things. It's interesting. Pancreas, or you have chocolate. I thought I was sensitive to chocolate. That's interesting. Growth hormone. What's that all about? I wonder why my growth hormone might be out of balance. And you can start to look those things up and learn more about them. Then you can now go into the progressive insight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap this button here, and I'm going to use this button, which looks like a play button, but it actually takes you to a new screen. Now I'm ready to start my balancing. My timer bar, I can confirm, is set for 3 minutes, and I hit this button down here called the progressive analysis button. And what it does, it takes those 30 items that I had chosen, and it actually shakes them all up again. It says, what is really the most important of those 30 items for me to know about and for me to focus on during my harmonizing session? This is the bioresonance. This is the energy that we're playing for our DNA, for our cells that we talked about. This is the juicy bioresonance. So we want the very best bioresonance that we need. We don't want to focus on things that we don't need. I'm going to go up here to select all. I'm just going to select everything because even though we have 30 items, when I hit the play button, which I can do right here, and it generates really interesting sounding frequencies, and you can also watch this visual algorithm, which is always really fascinating to watch. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Now it's focusing on the organophosphates, which, you know, I'm not too sure what happened with the USDA designation of organic. I think it's now it just says organic, and it's like for ornamental purposes. I'm not really sure how much of our fruit and vegetables are actually organic anymore, even as they're marked organic. So you may be taking in organophosphates, unfortunately, in your organic fruits and vegetables and not know it. So organophosphates are there. Conception vessel 11, dill, orange, heart 9. All of those are being balanced, and let's just stop this for a second. If we go down a little bit, you see that these are marked medium and low. So, for example, the bladder organ was really low priority in terms of needing to be balanced. But the organophosphates were really, really high. So, you know, energy medicine is powerful. We're not making any claims, but it's powerful. It's so powerful that somebody could run this and then they could start clearing the organophosphates from their system. I mean, that's the power of bioresonance. We know that from homeopathy. People can take homeopathic doses for mercury. And if they have mercury, it can help them to clear it from their system. So we know energy medicine is really, really powerful, and that's why we run the frequencies. But this high, medium, and low business, what this means is that it's going to focus much, much more on these high items. It's going to give them 3 times as much time when we're cycling through the harmonizing frequencies. And this is going to get twice as much. All of the medium stuff is going to get twice as much focus. And this is only going to get 1 time as much focus. So it's going to get singular focus. So it's like 3, 2, 1. So we're giving weight to the cycle on the things that are of most priority. We do that for 3 minutes, and then we simply rebalance it. So we go back again, and then we balance it again. Then we focus for another 3 minutes, again, on the things that are now the biggest priority, because other things will start to rise to the top as we clear things out. As we start to rectify things, as things start to get better, then we clear certain things out and we focus on other things. So that's really what I call the 3-minute continuous balancing. You just keep sort of rechecking after 3 minutes so you can drill down to the very, very most important things that you need to focus on at the time. And so this makes the Genius Insight very efficient. It makes it really fun to really see what you're able to clear and what is still sort of sticking. And even if you did nothing else on the Genius, this would really be a complete therapy cycle for you. You could just test everything. That starts shifting and changing. Just running the full matrix overview starts to shift the energy in you. And then you do the progressive insights for 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 9 minutes, 12 minutes, etc. Up to, say, 36 minutes is more than enough for 1 day. And that's really a complete session. So you don't need to know anything about nutrition, although if you do, it certainly adds depth to this. But this is a very simple way to do powerful balancing on yourself and on your family. One of the users of the Genius Insight has 5 iPads, and she has them running all the time for all members of her family and her community. And she is, you know, over the moon about the Genius Insight app. She loves it and really feels like it makes a huge difference. This is our dear Sandra out of Prescott, Arizona, and she's running 5 iPads at one time, using them very, very frequently, really to a great end. We have a homeopathic practitioner in Australia. Christian is using it for his patients. We have Pam in Florida. She's using it every day for her clients in her biofeedback practice, and finds it to be, you know, a very, very powerful ally in what she's doing. You know, we have people all over the world who are using the Genius Insight in a really, really powerful way. So now is the time for your questions. If you have questions about the program, I'm going to talk a bit more about some of the frequencies, the frequency generation. So please do, let me know your questions. If you have questions about acquiring the Genius, or if you have somebody who's interested in the Genius, we certainly do pay a commission for that. And let me know if I can answer any of your questions. I just want to go back to this general overview, and from the general overview we can go up to what's called the navigation bar. At the top right, I tap on the navigation bar, and it gives me a whole world of different features that I can use that really make the experience of using the Genius even more rich and more exciting. You can see system overview, extra modules, neuroremedy, libraries, accessories, frequency, shape, and form, data and research settings, change your password, and so forth. So what's really fun here is we can go to the extra modules, and let's just look at one or two of these. Let's look at synergistics. Synergistics, let's go back to see some of the things that came up here. First, let's see. Phenylalanine, folic acid. Let's look at folic acid. It's actually, I think the developer should change this to folate, because we have a lot of people who have something called the MTHFR imbalance, and they really don't make very good use of folic acid. Let's go to synergistics, and let's now check a remedy. A remedy for somebody who doesn't get enough folate would be methylfolate, and let's say 1 milligram. I think that would be a lot. But let's test it. So synergistics is a way to see if something is synergistically good for you. It's a way to see if a remedy, a person, a situation, an event would be beneficial for you. So let's go to extra modules. I don't know what happened there. Okay, and we're going to type that in. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, yeah, so it would be 1 milligram. Okay, let's start with 500 micrograms. Okay, so let's go L-methyl folate, because that was one of the things that came up like really, really low, meaning that there's some issue with methylfolate. Could be too high, could be too low. And let's start out with 500 micrograms. And we're just saying, is this something that resonates for us in all 4 of the areas? So we tap on begin analysis. You could do this for a vacation, you could do this for a person, you could do this for a relationship, you could do it if you're looking for a health practitioner, you can do a dentist. You could see if that's a good situation for you, if it's a good energetic connection. And this is sort of a poor energetic connection. This is not looking like a great remedy here. So it just might be that it's not enough. So what we can do is we can try 1 milligram, or it might just not be the right remedy. So if it doesn't improve, let's try this again. So the reason I know it wasn't a very powerful remedy is because the circles didn't close here. So what you're looking for, and I have seen it in the past, when you really get the right remedy and the right dose, you get all of these circles closing together, and it's really powerful. So let's just begin the analysis here. Let's see if this changes. So it's actually taking the resonance of this, even as we've typed it in, and actually calculating the connection here. It looks like it's not going to be too much better. So it gets even worse. And this could be because it's causing a lot of detoxification. It might just be too much. So let's try 200 micrograms, and then we'll just try something completely different. And we'll see how it goes. So maybe just the methylfolate either is too much for us, or maybe it's just not the right remedy. So let's just see how this goes. But this is just an example we're just doing. So that's just not something that the body wants at this point. So let's try something a little bit different. Let's just try methylated B12. And I'm not going to put a dose in here. Let's just try it just like that and see what happens. So you could just do it generically. You could then drill down and see if you get a good result for a dose. You could put a brand in there. All types of options here. Again, you could just put, going to Italy in August if you wanted to. Now that's a really great example. I couldn't have asked for anything better. So the methylfolate was just not resonating for this person for any type of reason. When you take methylfolate, it causes a lot of detoxification. If you don't have the detoxification factors, it might be too much. Maybe they need methylfolate, not L-methylfolate. We'd have to go back and check. But you can see when we start with the methylated B12, wow, that's like a home run. I mean, almost every circle is completely closed here. So this comes in really handy when you want to check on one singular thing and just really get a laser focus. And I do use this a lot. It's a really nice asset to have. Elise says, I've described synergistics as being similar to muscle testing or dowsing. Is that accurate? Yes, it's pretty accurate. It's really just a way to compare energy, which is really the, the ultimate goal of testing. It's comparing it's really just an energetic test. Dowsing is an energetic test. This is another energetic test, but it's more specific and it tends to be more objective than either of those, although there are very good muscle testers and there are very good dowsers, and so those are the people who tend to do it over and over again, who are pretty well adept at it. And so yes, that can be a very good way to test, but it's all based on energy. You're all tapping into the energetic being when, basically when you're testing that. So for this, we want to now go to body, and I want to now look at the response assessment. Let's just look in one particular area for this. And let's go ahead and look in digestion, and we'll look at the response assessment. So we want to go to another thing on the nav bar, which is the another feature, which is the response assessment. I'm going to take everything that came up here in digestion, and then I'm going to go to the nav bar at the top right, and I'm going to go back to that frequency, not the frequency, shape, and form, but the extra modules, and I'm going to go to response assessment, and I'm going to put in here what would be a pretty good digestive remedy. Let's say, this because I think Roger and Teresa are on today, so this is for you, you guys. Dandelion. Let's actually do the root and the leaf, the old sawtooth herbal remedy. So what I need to do, so this is another way, this is sort of like synergistics, but it's testing against particular items. So when I check these items, I'm saying every time I wanted to check now, it only makes really sense to check for things that are over 600 or under 150. So actually just these top things here. And now it's saying take dandelion root and leaf and check it against, will it bring the enzymes into balance or the enzyme deficiency? Will it help the pancreas? Will it help the esophagus? Will it help the small intestine? Although we don't need to check it here because that's under 600. So we take this dandelion root and leaf and say it's sort of like synergistics, but now we're checking it against these individual imbalances. So it's sort of like doing all that muscle testing. Again, we could sit here and we could muscle test and say we could find an enzyme point on the body, right? And then hold the dandelion root and leaf next to that particular point or on that point and see if it changes it. So let me go ahead and begin the analysis. And let's see what the changes are. It's going to show you the before over here and the after on the right. And let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so for a second I thought I said that wrong, but that's correct. Okay, yeah. So don't look at the percentages so much, but let's look at the difference here. This wasn't really a powerful, very powerful remedy. It sort of didn't make too much of a difference, although it did seem to affect the esophagus, which is interesting. It brought it into balance a bit. And that's might have to do with its effect on the liver, affecting the gut. I'm not sure. We probably should try really a better remedy here. So, but anyway, you get the idea. Maybe we could do one more. I think I have to exit out in order to do it again. So let's try this, and it brings it up again. And let's just try something that's like sort of the ultimate Chinese remedy, which is licorice. And let's just do that again, and let's see if there's any difference. We don't have things that are so out of balance, so it's a little hard to tell. Let's try the large intestine. It's sort of out of balance. It's like borderline. Elise says, I'd like to hear more about response assessment. Well, that's awesome. I didn't even see that, so I must have been feeling that intuitively. And okay, so all right, cool. Thanks for the input, Elise. And yeah, I'll definitely be posting this. If you go to YouTube and you put in my full name, Ariel Policano, please subscribe to my channel, and I upload the latest videos in for the Genius on there, and so you'll get the latest feed. So if you go Ariel Policano and go to my YouTube channel, you're going to see my latest Genius Insight videos there. Okay, let's take a look at this. We've seen that now licorice affected, so it may affect the body's ability to properly produce enzymes in a really powerful way. And there are all types of things that could be going on here. This could be affecting the stress system, making the person less stressed, or it's an adaptogen, so better adapted to stress, so now their parasympathetic system may be working better, so they're better able to produce enzymes. So we see that actually it took them from a place of being more out of balance at 734 to less out of balance at 653. The pancreas went from really like almost like compression and stagnation, and now it's from underfunction, it's gone to overfunction. But we usually see that it goes from underfunction first and then to overfunction, and then it'll come back into balance. So we heal from the inside out, you know, from the top down. And so this is going to start working itself from the internalized, very deep and chronic, then it'll come to the external superficial, and eventually we'd like to see it move into balance. So that can be a really good thing. At 168, this is almost in a state of compression or stagnation. So we're seeing it move from large intestine 168 to 297, which is a very good movement. So again, this is just a really great way to check on a remedy or see how things are affecting things globally. And you can even shoot for finding the best remedy to affect the most things at one time. So really that linchpin remedy, that remedy that is really affecting everything in a super powerful way. So that is the response assessment. I'm going to skip dynamic mirroring phase. I feel like it's a bit of an advanced topic, and really you're better off with the synergistics and the response assessment. If you're thinking about getting the Genius, you know, between the progressive insights and then those two features, that's a tremendous amount to begin with. So just a few other things going on here, and then I'm actually going to wrap it up for the evening. So if you have any burning questions, let me know. You can email me. I set you up with the very best package that's available, one that you wouldn't even be able to buy on the Quantum Health app site. And it's a 1097 package, and it comes with the Rife app, which is a bonus. It comes with the Relationship Harmonizer. That's a bonus. It comes with the Water Harmonizer. And you can get that by going to a special website that I have set up for this. And I'm going to send you the link right now. And it's coming at you. That's 1097 for that Genius package. And you go to Quantum iPad Biofeedback and then /order. That's that. Or you can just email me if you want me to assist you, or if you want me to hop on with you and do an online demonstration and talk to you about the options. So that's what's going on there. So the developer's been really nice and has let me present a special deal to people who come on the sales call. And so if you want the very best deal out there, this is the most efficient. Go to that website and you can order it. You could also go to that website. You could download the 15-day trial. Lots of things you can do from there. Let's just talk about the frequency, shape, and form, and then we're going to wrap it up for the evening. There's a full control panel to help you to basically laser focus your sessions and to choose the intensity, the shape, and the form that you want. So I'm not going to go into all of these. I just did a lecture last night about sine, square, and sawtooth frequencies. That's available, the most recently uploaded video on my YouTube channel. But as you get into this and you understand more about it, what you'll find out is that there's so many different ways to take the frequencies and really customize them for the person that you're working on. For example, last night we talked about really using the square frequency, the square waveform, when you're working with a pathogen. So if you have somebody who has Lyme or has some type of a chronic virus, maybe causing an autoimmune condition or whatever it might be, chronic fatigue syndrome, using the square wave when you're balancing them, especially when you're focusing on infections, is a really skillful way and a really effective way to get the most out of your balancing sessions. When you want to run things that are biological and you want to really optimize those, then the sine frequency is a really great waveform to choose. There are also different reasons to choose the harmonic wave and the different wave intensities. I'm not going to get into those right now. Remember that the frequency is more important than the intensity. So, choosing the waveform that you want and then the frequency generated by the Genius software is what's really the most powerful, not necessarily the intensity. One of the most important things to know about the Genius Insight that makes it stand out from other biofeedback apps that are out there is the energy encoded process. The energy encoded process is a type of frequency which affects you at a very deep level. It works beyond classic frequency generation, and the best way to describe it is it's working at the deep level of the subconscious in a very powerful way. So often people have self-defeating or self-sabotage habits. There's always sort of a subconscious component that's really preventing people from making a powerful change to move forward in their lives. And the energy encoded process is a type of frequency generation that can help people to get to that place that they want to go to, which is beyond all of those limitations. So it's a really powerful way to balance. It's different from anything else that you're really going to find out there in frequency generation. And you can really feel it when you run these frequencies for yourself with the energy encoded process. So one of the things I do is in the morning, get up really early and I'll be having headphones on and I'll be running that progressive insights, the 3 minutes, several different times. And it doesn't take long before I'm feeling really refreshed, really like getting my office organized for the day. And, I really attribute it to that energy encoded process, that there's a lot going on that can happen in a relatively short time. The enhanced layering technology is really binaural beat technology. You can choose to play that if you're there with headphones, or you can choose if you're running a long distance session to just turn it down. It really is only relevant if you're using a stereo headphone and actually listening to those frequencies. That said, it really helps the brain to assimilate at a more powerful level all of the frequencies that you are playing. So it can be really advantageous to use the binaural beat technology along with your other frequencies. So that's about it for the Genius demonstration for today. I am a certified Genius Insight trainer. I'm here to help you to get the right package for you, and then set you up with an orientation, and then invite you to our Monday training where we have Q&A where you can get your questions answered. We have several different Facebook groups where you can ask questions of other people in the community. So we invite you and we give you exclusive access to that as well. So any final questions, or if anybody wants to schedule a demonstration, you can tell me about that right now, and I'll be happy to schedule that demonstration with you, or you can just send me an email. You can call me. Here's my phone number. You can reach me directly for the rest of the evening, and I'll be happy to talk to you. So we're here every Tuesday. Send your referrals. Come back again and again if you want to see this over again. You can get the Genius trial for 15 days. There's no obligation. Even after you purchase, you have another 30 days to determine if this is really something that works for you. We have a no questions asked money back guarantee. We rarely have people who want to return the software because they use it every day, they enjoy it, they get great benefit from it, and they definitely don't want to give it back. So, all right, well, that's it, everyone. Again, I really appreciate you attending this evening, and please be in touch with me. Would love to hear from you and help you to get the right program for you. This is Dr. Ariel Policano in Portland, Oregon, naturopathic doctor who uses the Genius Insight. I'll be back next week, and I look forward to being in touch with you. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.